Hey everyone, it's your boy Doc Williams, and today we're going to be talking about how to create your own Google Chrome extension without coding. We'll talk about all the different things that you need to do this to be successful, and all the things that we've tried in the past, and all the things you can do now in 2025 and beyond. We have Mr. Hackathon on the call today. How we doing, man?
Hey, I'm good, thank you. I'm great.
This is going to be great. So years ago, actually, this was in my Docs, which is all my documents of all the different projects I've done throughout the years. There was one about how to create a Chrome extension years ago using VS Code and using a couple different things like Extension Kit that was on AppSumo, but times have changed with AI and vibe coding. So we're going to be talking about that today. So let me know. Dominic, where do you want to begin? Do we want to talk about like an overview of a Chrome extension and then use the tool and just get right into it? Where do you want to begin?
Yeah, so if we go to I think it's called Chrome Web Store.
Mm-hmm. Take a look.
Hopefully we can take a look and it will be there.
That looks good. Yep.
Yeah.
chromewebstore.google.com.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know. If you've never played around with Chrome extensions or shipped anything with Chrome extensions, they have their own marketplace, which is the Chrome Web Store, similar to the Google Play Store or the App Store. It's just its own place where you can discover extensions. And so if we jump to, it is called Crypto Scam Detector.
Oh, I can search for it. Crypto.
Hopefully. Yeah, that's
it.
So this is my Chrome extension. This wasn't made using, well, it was made using no code. It wasn't made using AI. And actually, I am going to update it with AI. But this is a very, very simple extension that tells you whether the current website you're on in terms of crypto is safe. So there are fraudulent Bitcoin websites. So you would go to this website, you would activate the Chrome extension, and it will say, hey, is it safe? Is it not safe? And what it's doing is querying CoinMarketCap and doing some things on the back end to see, is this listed by CoinMarketCap? What's the news around this? And basically using that information to mark whether it's safe or not. So here, that is an example of a Chrome extension. I think Chrome extensions are best when you're using something on the web page. So it could be something on the URL of the web page. It can be something in the actual body of the web page. For example, I do have another one that summarizes anything you highlight. So you highlight something on the web page and it summarizes it. This was like GPT-3 days, so quite a long time ago. It probably could do a lot more, but we could turn around and make something where, I don't know, you click on an image and it does interesting things. So let's think about what idea we want to do and what vertical we want to do. Are we going with something fun, or are we going with something business related?
You know, I'm game for whatever, as long as we show step by step. I'm always going to go business. I'm always going to go business where I would want to, because I'm always trying to think about how can I make this profitable? How can I make this sustainable? So I would like to see it go into a vertical there, but I think the fundamentals, wherever we go, just showing off the step by step of how we're doing it, I think that's the most important. So I'm game for whichever direction you're thinking, man.
Yeah. So if I share my screen, what I built mine in was Builder.
Yep.
BIDR.
Yep. I have it right here. That was in my original guide years ago. Shout out to Builder.
Exactly. And they've been around for years. I think it's a lot easier now to build with a tool like Cursor or Windsurf. So we are going to try to build something in Cursor. And Cursor is an AI code editor, like you can see on screen. You can prompt it to build what you want. Not exactly like a Lovable or Bolt, especially when you're talking about Chrome extensions. I had a conversation with someone about this at a networking event last night, and I do believe whether it's Bolt Cursor or whether it's any other AI coding companion, I think they're going to segment into particular verticals. So right now they're general purpose, in my opinion, but they're going to, and you can see some of them saying, hey, we can produce native apps too. You can see some of them that are saying different things. I think you're going to see some specialized for Shopify apps or Slack apps or Chrome extensions and say, hey, we are the cursor for Chrome extensions, or we are the cursor for Shopify apps. Gadget was actually mentioned yesterday.
Great. We're going to be doing some new videos coming out with their team, so I'm glad to hear it. I love what you just said, and I agree. I think it's going to be splintering off with very specific ones. Gadget has a super interesting way. More on that later when we start working with them, but I like their approach. One of the best. I think what they are going to roll out is what's going to make it possible with so many others. And I'll just leave it there.
So I'll share my screen. We'll get started with Cursor. Anytime I get started, whether this was code or no code, I kind of make a hello world app. So the first thing we're going to do is make a hello world app. The point of this is like, how do you get started in Cursor in the most basic way? There's lots of configuration you can do to set up, but we're going to start in the most very basic way with Cursor. And how do you actually test your Chrome extension? Because that's a particular kind of way too. So I will share my screen.
Here we go. And then I'll add to stage. Let me remove mine, and then I'm going to have you. Okay, here we go.
So I am going to create a new folder. And I'm just going to call this Hello Chrome extension. And this is going to be a new blank folder for me. So this is a regular blank folder. There's nothing there. And you can see the chat here. You can see agent here. You can see, if you're familiar with Cursor or even Visual Studio Code, all of this should be familiar to you. And immediately what I can do is give it a prompt to build. So similar to Lovable and Bolt, I can give it a prompt to build. There are things I can do in the back end, like I said, to configure this a particular way. But the most basic version for an audience that might not know anything technical is tell it to build something. So we're going to say, build a Chrome extension that I want to make it a little bit more interesting than just saying hello world. Any ideas, Doc?
Let's see. Can we have it as a Chrome extension for someone to click a button and for it to display the word hello world or something like that?
That the user can click a button and I'm just thinking in my head how to phrase this, that can click a button on a side panel on the right and hello world is displayed.
When you're doing this, do you ever use Claude or ChatGPT to kind of ask you the right questions so you refine what you're saying, or you just don't even go that route when you're trying to?
I have in the past if I think I need help, like kind of thinking through it, but I don't always.
Yeah.
Like a lot, and you see me use Base 44, and you see me use a lot of different tools. Sometimes I just throw the raw idea into the AI tool.
Now, as we're doing this, and by the way, this is going to be a continuation. We've talked about building Chrome extensions before, actually, with Talisha from Lovable. It was before she's was in charge of community, but now shout out to her. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And she mentioned briefly how she used Cursor, and then be able to do this. Could you kind of talk about Dominic, like from left to right, if someone's just using cursor, could you kind of explain? They see a lot of things on the screen and everything. Could you talk about like there looks like files being made on the folders on the left? What's going on in the middle and then to the right?
Yeah, so on the left, this is our folder directory. We can actually create new files here, create new folders here, search. We can do lots of really interesting things. We can switch to the different files. This is the actual code for the file. So if I go to popup.html, you can see the title that should be displayed here. You can see this is the button. And for like, this is basic HTML. So I'm assuming most people will be able to read it, but obviously if you don't know code, you won't be able to read it. But this is like the most basic version of code, and hardcore developers won't even call this like real code. This is where the behavior happens in your JavaScript file. So you can see that when someone clicks on this, that it's going to show the hello world message. So you can see all of this here. It's even created a README file for what this actually does. So you can see about installation and usage and the different files. And we have styles.css, which is how it actually looks. But to test this, what we're going to do, so this should all be fine. We have to go back to my Chrome extension. I'll go back to Chrome. And what we're going to do is go to manage extensions. So I click this puzzle looking thing and I'm going to manage extensions, and I'm going to go to load unpacked, and I am going to find, if I can, hello Chrome extension, select the folder, and it said there's an error with the icon. So what it's done is created, let's see, it's created two icons here, and these are not real icons. So I'm going to say remove. I can actually just remove this, but I can say remove the icons. Because what Chrome is doing is looking for the images for the icons, and these are not real URLs.
Mhm. Also, too, I have this in my document, how to create icons, because when you're first getting started with this, there's documentation, manifest icons, Chrome developers, all those things. These are the little things that people don't tell you where these things are.
Yeah.
And if you're a developer that's been doing it for years, you're like, oh, I'll just do this, this, and this, or this is what I'm just using boilerplate. But when you get these errors and you've never seen them before, it could almost like, it felt like it was the ending of my world. I was just like, I don't even know where to begin with this.
So we can see here that now it's working, or now it's here. And so we're going to test this. We are going to go to a website. Let's just go to X and just close this, and we can see us here. We're going to go here, and we should be able to see hello world right here. So we're going to ping this to the taskbar. We're going to click on the side panel, and we click open side panel, and you can see click me button, hello world. So this is our first Chrome extension in a couple minutes.
Love it. Love it. Yeah, no, this is really good. And I think doing smaller projects like this really gives you not only the confidence, but it helps you feel good about yourself. Could you go through the mechanics again, how you actually add your extension? Could you go and do those steps?
So you have your folder. If I go to my folder. So what I did, I created a folder, hello Chrome extension. And then obviously in Cursor, I prompted to create my files. It created these files. So Chrome extension needs these files. It needs the manifest.json. It needs whatever logic you have. It doesn't need a README file, but obviously if you're working with GitHub, if you're working collaboratively, if you're just working by yourself, it helps to have the README file. But it does need the manifest.json file. And then what we did, we select this puzzle right here in Chrome, and then we went to manage extensions, which opens this page. And in this page, we went to load unpacked, and then we just selected the particular folder. And then we have it here, and then we can go to a new tab and activate our Chrome extension. And obviously you can see this Chrome extension here. When you click the icon, it's saying to open the side panel. And then it opens. If we show you my Chrome extension, so let's just go to bitcoin.org. When I click this, it automatically opens and you can see it's processing now, being marked as safe. So we can actually have it just activate as soon as it open. We can have it activate immediately on particular URLs, or we can have it activate when the user clicks on it instead of having to click on something else. So here we've got remove from Chrome, open side panel. We can actually edit this so these are not here. But this is just our Hello World app, so it's no big issue.
I love it. Let us know if you're watching live or if you're watching in replay, #replay, if this makes sense, if you're excited, if you have questions. This really is the foundation before we start building anything else. To really look at, these are how you can get started. Now, say for instance, someone wants to, like, they get that delay with the icon. Do you pretty much just go into cursor, already start asking questions how to create the icon, or would you already start saving files based on the formats and everything for the icon?
Are you talking about the icon stuff?
Yes.
So yeah, I would create my icon, but the only thing it needs a specific URL to an actual image.
There we go.
So you would, I mean, Cursor's not gonna create the image for you. I'm not sure Cursor create the image for you. I don't think it's gonna create the image for you. But you need to create it, host it somewhere, and just give Cursor the URL, and it will just. And I say give Cursor the URL. I was being lazy. I could have just removed everything Cursor just removes, because I know what should have been removed. So you can either just replace what's there with your icon URL.
Yeah, that's great. And you can host it wherever if you're using an S3 bucket or whatever you want to use, you can have it, and they will reference that. John's talking about awesome. Of course, this will be linked to the other video where we're talking about how to create extensions. So this is great. Okay, so we now have the basics in just a few minutes getting up and running. What shall we do for a more advanced Chrome extension? What do you want to try to do?
If you come up with a use case, I can probably come up with like the idea within that use case. So like, what business are we working with? Yeah.
Okay. So I would think about a couple different things. And let us know in the chat as well. I would say the use case that I would probably do if I'm a small business, I keep going back to scraping. Maybe we shouldn't do a scraping thing. But I always think it's like either you're trying to extract certain information or you're trying to like summarize. Like, for example, I think about even like something like a product hunt or something where you're seeing a bunch of a list of products or items. You're trying to either make a summary of like what we're seeing on the page, something like that.
I think I might have an idea. Let's just see the format of this. Now, I don't know entirely if this will work. A company, let's just say Spice.
What site are you on right now, or just kind of?
I'm on Trustpilot. I'm thinking, hey, you mentioned about scraping. I'm like, hey, can we take some of these reviews? Let's say if we go on the 1-star, can we take these reviews and summarize them using AI and basically say, hey, how should we kind of like compete against this company on Trustpilot? definitely possible.
Let me ask you this. Well, why are we working so hard? Let's just go to the Chrome store and let's look at
Yeah.
some of the biggest ones and just take their ideas.
Yeah.
Let's see. Because I see ones for productivity, power up your projects. Okay, so one could be a simple timer for just like Pomodoro and things like that. That's something that makes me think of just having a timer right there for my business or keeping me on task while I'm online. That's number one.
Yeah. Is there a unique angle we could add that's maybe a little bit different?
I would say,
Um, I time box methods. So I do have a theory, right? Like, well, it is a theory. So I have made, and in the marketplace there are to-do list apps, right? But there's lots of different ways to create to-do lists. And I'm sure you have time boxing, which people use, which allocates specific time blocks for different tasks. But maybe there's different types of time boxing. Like here you have strategic time management, you have Pomodoro technique, you have time blocking. So maybe we can make a timer for a specific type of like time boxing.
And what's the most common? Like Pomodoro probably is the most common. So then we just do a different style.
Exactly.
Yep.
That is what I'm thinking. And I am gonna open Gemini. So you mentioned about do I use Gemini or Claude? So at points like this, I would ask Gemini and have the conversation with Gemini. What are the and I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna niche down even more. I'm gonna say for people with ADHD.
Yep.
And just because I know when I'm creating products, I know if I create it around a niche group or people with niche needs. So here's saying, here is saying break management, task initiation. I don't think it's relevant to anything that I need. It's still talking about the Pomodoro technique. So what I'm going to say, and this is when you see me randomize this is kind of like my process. I'll just say Pomodoro technique. What are unique angles I can take?
Are there any that jump out to you?
And just reading. I think this is interesting. Pomodoro technique for team-based projects.
Okay.
I think here this is interesting too. Gamifying the Pomodoro technique. So maybe that screams out to me a little bit more. If you complete the Pomodoro, you maybe get a point. And if you don't complete it, if you get distracted or you switch tasks, then you lose a point or something like
I like that.
that. Okay. Very simple. The point of it isn't necessarily the idea. The point of it is really like how to build a Chrome extension with Cursor. So we built our Hello World Chrome extension, and now we're going to build something a little bit more complicated in this kind of Pomodoro timer. So I am going to go back to Cursor. and open a new folder. Just create a new folder. And I'm going to select my folder. Now I have a new project. And again, I am going to build. I haven't configured anything in the back end. I haven't said use these specific libraries, use these specific design systems. I haven't said any of that. I am just giving it the instruction raw, because I do think a lot of that configuration would take time to explain what's going on, why we're doing it. And we just want you to ship for now. We can iterate and improve what we ship a little bit later. So I am going to say create a Chrome extension where the user uses the Pomodoro technique to complete tasks. If the user completes the point. So I don't exactly know what it's going to come out with, but I basically said, if the user completes, we're going to create a timer that uses the Pomodoro technique to complete tasks. If the user completes the Pomodoro, they get a point. If they do not, they lose a point. So I'm not sure how it's going to interpret the point system,
Just about to ask.
but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see what happens to it. I think it's fun to just even see how it interprets it in general.
Yeah. That's what I personally do that, and I've mentioned, and you can see it's created these false icons again. That's why sometimes I know here we are kind of vibe coding in a sense. I do like doing that because I don't, in my head, have everything explicitly mapped out. So it is good to see what the AI comes up with, which gives me my own ideas.
Mm-hmm. As this is working, have you heard of a platform called Zeit at all?
I don't think so.
It's I'll put it in the chat for us in the private chat. This is a platform. It's from the people from Fill Out. Definitely, it's in the same vein as Lovable and Bolt, but it mentions turn your data into custom business software. No code required. I feel that might even be the same exact headline as, yeah, softer build custom business software without code. I'm like, it's basically the same thing, but
I do think the premise is interesting though. Hey, here's your data. We're just going to create the software from that. We're going to create whatever you from that.
It's an interesting thing, and as this is going, I'll show you later on if you want to how they do the front end and then the workflow. So they're taking actually like it's a level of abstraction above like code where they're just showing you workflows and telling you what they're doing versus you even like, hey, this is what it's very interesting. I'll have to show you it. I think it's still getting a lot of errors. I've tested it out, doing some things, but it has a really interesting premise. It has a really interesting premise that I think for people building internal tools and definitely the pricing model, I could see people using this instead of Softer a lot of times.
Yeah.
The upgrade, it's for unlimited apps, unlimited users. It's $0. Now, of course, I always tell people, don't get fooled. It's just like any other like code thing that they bake it in for you to get addicted, like it's drugs. and then they'll change, they'll take it away from you. But for right now, it's unlimited apps, unlimited users. It has integrations with Slack, OpenAI,
Yeah.
Trello, like a bunch of things. And the only difference is you're paying for more limits of how you're editing it when you're
Yeah.
using the AI. You can edit it just like how Lovable has. You can edit the interface now. That goes up to $19, and you remove branding, and then you're just scaling basically of how many more custom domains or the amount of AI credits you're using. But unlimited apps, unlimited users,
Yeah.
all what you want. So we'll see what happens.
Okay. That sounds good. So I think we are ready.
Let's do it.
I don't know what's going to come up. So we have our icon.
Ooh, that
I'm
looks
not
good.
sure. I'm not sure. Can you see my screen? Okay.
I can see it. I can see it.
So you can.
Pomodoro timer. Yep, I can see it. 25 minutes. Yeah.
Um. So we're going to start this.
Okay, the timer works. That's good.
We're going to cancel it, and incomplete one.
Interesting. So it's basically counting against you if you stop it, pretty much.
If you stop it, yeah.
That's pretty funny.
Say 5 podium dot, and we're going to start it again.
That's pretty funny. Now, when you're doing the vibe coding with Doc, can you enter it that it now is going to record it, or is it just a holder box for the text right there? I wonder.
It looks like a holder box for the. Oh, well, let's just cancel it and just see what happens. Yeah, it looks
Yep.
like just a holder box for the text.
Okay.
So what do we want to do? Did you want to screen record it or just record that particular activity?
I think just record that particular activity. I think we'll stop right there. I think this is really, really great, especially ones that are asking, okay, well, what would I do? You now have a clear example from going to beginning with a first concept and going hello world to now
Yeah.
having a Pomodoro timer right there, which is interesting how it even scores it and everything. But you see
Yeah.
where you can go from here. The more you describe it, the better it's going to be. But
Yeah.
I think this is a really good first start. I think this gives people, yeah, go out and try things. Let us know in the comment section down below. Let us know if this is helpful. What are you going to start building? And if people want to have another episode where we kind of talk about, okay, how would we go about iterating on the Chrome extension? And my favorite part is the business aspect. What would you do with a Chrome extension, or how can you drive sales? You can use this as a lead magnet. People using this as a free tool, then it's leading to other things. Let us know in the chat. Do hashtag replay or hashtag live, and we'll go from there. Mr. Hackathon, before we wrap up here, anything you would like to tell the good people?
No, it's just we'll link my channel in the description or somewhere relevant.
Yep.
I think my main thing is just keep experimenting. You saw we went from a basic Hello World app in Cursor. We didn't touch a line of code, and then we made a Pomodoro app, and just keep shipping and keep building just to get a feel and develop that muscle of building really interesting stuff and stuff that can really help you in your business.
Love it. All right. Until next time, we'll see you later. And thank you so much for your time. All right, everybody. Have a good night. Talk to you.
Bye.